Hello everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Valheim. Yep, we're looking at the oven because, as I said in the previous episode, I'm going to do some baking today. I also need to do something else. That's getting iron. But the main reason I'm doing the baking is because I was running out of food. And last but not least, what I want to do is, well, the Ooze trophy will be very difficult. So I'm not even going to think about that. But we have the Fenring and the Golem trophy still to hunt for. And yeah, those are quite hard to get. Especially since for the Fenring you need to go out at night, and for the Golem, let's just say I'm not a big fan of those two. Certainly not of the Golem, or the Troll, or the Abomination, or the Logs, or the Seeker Soldier. Some people love to fight them. I do when I can keep a distance. So, sure, and the game decides to give me an extra one. Thank you, game. Last thing I needed was that. Never mind. Also, as you can see, I got a lot of wood currently. I've been cutting down birch trees. And yeah, of course you end up with a lot of wood. So that's going to be turned into charcoal over time. Simply because that will make things easy for me when it comes to smelting metals. Because yeah, we will have to smelt metals. And to top it all off, another one. Well, I'm lucky with my baking skill. Cooking 10. Well, at this rate it will be going up nicely. But skill has been hammered. With this, I used to have most high in 30 or even more. Even bows was in the 40s. Big axes was actually way in the 50s. That's not good. Oh, now I get 4. That's a change. Well, never mind. I'm going to craft a lot of charcoal for the smelting. We're going to get, we need to get iron so we can actually get back to the swamps, and more important, to the plains and the mountains, but especially the mountains this time, to hunt golems, because I found that porcupine is actually quite a good weapon against those creatures. I still don't like them. Let's not make a mistake about that. But it is a pretty good weapon to deal with them. Although the piecing is doing nothing, at least I thought. I can have a check. We'll have a check on the wiki. Aggressive creatures, I'm not a fan of this wiki either, because we're getting more and more shit on it lately. Swamp stone column. Blunt pierce. That's its base damage. And it's actually resistant. Yeah, to pierce and slash. The weakness is pickaxe. And it's completely immune to fire, frost, poison and spirit. But the funny thing is, the weakness is pickaxe, which actually is doing pierce damage, so it's a little bit weird. Okay, one skill added, good. Still don't have an extra, so it's actually a little bit funny that I can use a pickaxe on the stone column, but pickaxe is two-handed, so you have a very limited block. Because I can't use it. Wait a sec. I can combine with the shield. Or not. No, can't. So that means I lose a lot on blocking. Ay, 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 ay. Well, never mind. I lose a lot on blocking. If I want to use that. Well, with a shield, a black metal shield is doing 90 block armor, 60 block force, compared to 2 block armor and 35 block force. 2 times parry, 1.5, so the only thing that is better for the with the pickaxe is parry bonus. But it's a little bit weird because you're actually piercing through something. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Never mind. I will still use the porcupine because that's closest to iron mace. Because of that, it's also closest when it comes to damage. So, for the porcupine, I was nearly iron. I'm not mistaken. Where is it? Fang. So the iron mace does 55, porcupine does 50. So the iron mace is in fact still a little bit better. Pine wood, iron, needles. Pine wood. Did it wrong. I should have. Needles. Where do I have needles? And linen. Just have enough stamina to get, yep, porcupine craft. It's a little bit weird that a black metal tier weapon requires iron. Six iron, so let's get shoot. Fine wood, black. Yeah, I did that right. It's probably the iron messing up. So I'm actually doing it slightly less damage, but the pierce damage will be so useful when dealing with fenmates. And I know that because I've been doing that with my other character. Now let's get rid of that flower. Sleep a bit. Also may need other trophies, but I want to have everything completed at some point. Maybe second motive too. Well, one thing at a time, I guess. Like I said, let's get some sleep. Because that would speed up the production of charcoal. Done. So we can do 3 stacks of charcoal afterwards. So, yeah, we're going out to the mountains, and let me move all on most markers anyway, especially those. I don't want to see it. So, first mountain I can go to is the one with the motor portal. See how that goes. I have a small option here in Nightfall. There's a howling cavern over there we could actually visit. So we do have some options which we can do. I have one, that's the right key. We have one chest, and I think we also had one chest turned in. So brass and silver, so we only need bronze. You can easily check it actually. Howling cavern, one done. Small tower. Where's the other smoldering tomb? Very likely that some things changed with the update because of the new POIs. I don't see the smoldering tomb I went into. Well, I'm pretty sure that we did one. Okay, let's see. Quests. Maybe. Block Bridge. Yeah, there was a smoldering tomb over here. That's gone. If I get all the special clothing, first time. That's the problem if you're playing two different games. That at some point you can't remember what you did where. Looks like I didn't. Why am I taking the lock? No, never mind. This happens when you're wandering a lot. You start wandering because you're wandering. So I haven't turned it in. So we have to visit Hildir. Visit Hildir again. I've left. We have to visit Hildir to trigger the new locations. For her quest. when that's done, I can actually do the smoldering tomb quest again. See if it once again drops another chest. I was having a discussion about this with somebody else today, who claims that you only get one chest. After that, nothing. And I'll say you get two. So you can actually turn one chest in and keep the other one for yourself. So I'm very curious to test that. Considering I still got that shitload of wood. That needs to be removed. There. Now it's time to eat and to visit Hilde and activate that quest. Because my intention was to sail with 3 chests to her. And turn them all in. Another thing. Let's think for a moment. Do I have to visit Haldor with this character or not? I'm a little bit running parallel things right now. Yes, I have visited Haldor. So I lost track about what I'm doing and which character. Bow, arrows. Well, I haven't turned any of the chests in yet. But one sealed tower actually moved. That's the smoldering tomb we did. But now it appears. So I can jump to the bog witch, move there, and get back. Find out if that's actually done. If we did it, then we're off to a sailing trip. Try to find that one. Sealed tower, smoldering tomb. Yep. So walkways. And better bring fire potions. Have any? Yeah, of course I got them. Quite a bunch to fight that half a king. He died multiple times to him as well. Bridge and north. Okay. Well, we may run into interesting stuff, cause that means we're going through the swamp. Which also means there's always a chance to get Boon's trophy. I doubt it, but you never know. But more fun. We're also going through Black Forest again, so who knows if we run into another bear. Didn't I? Yes, I did. Just hope I don't run into an abomination, because I still don't like those buggers. Probably not though. Sure. And time to show how the new weapon works. It has quite a knockback. So that might actually have some interference when fighting it. There's also quite some swamp left here. Although I have explored most of it, so I doubt if there's any tomb available. I don't need any squeak today. Simply traveling north, finding that tomb, checking if Brenna is there. If she is, take care of that. If she isn't, go back and I have to find another. Which means lots of sailing. And meanwhile I'm going to enjoy the landscape. Just means that the whole plan I had is gone. Well, Not the first time that happens. What do we have here? Broker Village. Have I been clearing it? No, I haven't. Should I? I don't know. The thing is with Droger Village that the chest may have... No, there may be a chest inside. And that chest may have one of the new training weapons. So I'm gonna make very short notice on everything here. Because I'm not in the mood to spend a lot of time on this. I don't even need the entrails right now. So it's 4 houses. This is more or less the center. Done. House 1 is done. Next. Would be fun if we actually encounter a lead right now. Or have a trophy dropping. So far, nothing. Going my way. No chests here. I think I demolished half the house. Ah, well, never mind. Done. Chest. Take all. Don't need that. Oh, yeah, of course. Smarty. I already had discovered this POI. So the new items don't spawn in it. Let's bring up everything on the map. Yeah, now you see how the porcupine works. It's a very good weapon against trolls because of the high pierce. I mean, I'm doing 63 pierce, 2544 realistic against the troll. They're not so happy. Knockback attack can be a bit of a problem. Ooh, now that's going to be a fight. Or not. Because he got staggered very fast. Just hear the troll. Good, and I'm not going to be bothered with it. Something is... I thought so. Yeah, huh? Come here, little prick. Hey, you wanna fight? Don't run away. Goes for you too. Come on, Toothpicky. Come on. Now I really need to check everything, cause there's so many things sparkling right now that I have no idea what I'm picking up or not picking up. I don't need that. I said I don't need that. Drop the freaking stones. So no coins. Okay. I can't teleport the metal. Do this nearby. There are the torches. I forgot to bring something. Well, doors are open, so I've been here. Absolutely certain I've been here. The chests are empty. I've been here. Oh, and let's move away from this room. As you can see, I think this was the part where Brenner was in. As you can see, there's a fine, faint glow everywhere. That's from... This was where Brenner was located. She isn't here. But that glow is from the needles of porcupine, which gives it a very nice addition, I think. We've been here. Okay. So I might as well go back. Well, it was an interesting journey. What we're going to do is simply move towards the rest of the fog of war. There isn't that much to discover here, but I can still go this way. Back to the Bog Ridge base and jump back home. Oh, no, I can't jump back home. Because we have the black metal with us, so I have to change my settings at some point. Do I even have to? No, not really. Only thing I do want to deal with is on 4 legs and eating honey. But I won't encounter those. At least not today, I think. Don't have all. You just kill a deer. Take the bones. I'm not going to kill a deer when I'm near. Understood? Oh, it wasn't a deer. It was a brute. Okay. Great Dwarf's brutes are... yeah, fine. You really want to kill them? Go ahead. Hi, Skelly. Bye, Skelly. bow. So we're at the border of the Black Forest, meadows and swamp. And I completely forgot to mark that tower on the map. 8 minutes. Didn't bring food. Even that isn't much of a problem. I know now I'm not gonna make any plans anymore. Every time I make a plan, I'm blowing it completely to smithereens by doing something else. So, spawner. Right, time for a game of Sniper Elite. 1, 2, 3. Four. Actually, it's not Sniper Elite anymore. To do that, I had to keep using my bow. Yeah, of course. That. I'm going to pick that up anyway. It's just to drop off my items. And to eat something. prepare something. By the way, oh no, that's not this game. I was about to say. I've got so much wood right now. Maybe. And that game messed things up for me. Like that. Because the Drogofang is so powerful with the pierce and the poison that wood arrows will do the same thing. So I will use wood arrows for now. That give anything I encounter the opportunity to survive a little bit longer. Or, since I'm using poison damage, suffer a little bit longer. Depends on how you look at it. And I've got enough dandelions though. Entrails. Need to drop this, need to drop that. Well, I'm going to demolish anything anyway. So I can drop things off after that. And they will simply disappear after a few game days. I think that's the people. There's no need to pick the bow. One moment. Right, sorry for that. I had my regular sneeze coming up. There's also two things fighting over there. Can't see it. One is a blob. Don't know what the other one is. My guess that it could be a troll or a great dwarf brute. Let's go and find out. There's the blob, or should I say was. There's the other blob. And there's a lot of sparkling things up here. Right. Great dwarf eye stone. So it's probably been a normal great dwarf. Let's pick up all those stones and then drop it off so I make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. There, solved. Oh, and off to the next part of our exploration trip. Still hoping. Nah, forget about it. No chance to encounter a bear here. Because we're going to leave the Black Forest in a bit. Don't do that, because I got a similar thing, but hurting a lot more. Well, at least I'm able to add more crap to the map. So, plains, meadow, swamp, border area. This time I am switching to another weapon. Because famous last sound is often no. Those are useful. Always very useful, especially a bit later. Hey guys, don't you know it's very silly to use fire in an area with brown, dry grass? Would set all the grass on fire. Silly fueling. Any idea how dangerous all that is? Is that current climate change and all that. After the bone. Oh well, I got some coins and some black metal. Good thing I crafted that chest in my bogwitch portal building. At least that way I'm able to drop the black metal in there without it being lost at some point. This is also why it makes such a nice base for exploration. I mean, oh, hang on. Now I have to go here twice. I mean, I can get to the bogwitch from here. And I can also explore the swamp a little bit more from here. In case I need metal. Then, yes, of course, that also means I need to use the modifier at some point, but I can do that. We have this very nice room being adjusted at some point. We have this. Let's put that away. So this is all very nice. It's a very nice base of operations, which can actually be used to farm metal as well. So I'm quite happy with that. Quite content, I think, is the better expression. The only thing I'm not content, not happy with, is that I actually did nothing. And that we have to go sailing for the other smoldering tomb. Right here, what's the closest smoldering tomb? It's close call between no, that one. So I suppose we're going to sail there. Eventually I have to go to one of the Howling Caverns too. But I think first step is make sure that I got all the charcoal done. With that done, actually might bring up the what's his name? Change the world modifier so I can teleport some of the metals. When that's done, we can sail to that spot, look for anything useful like snakes. Because serpents too is still one of the better things we have in this game, even at this level. Plus, I don't have a serpent trophy yet. Then see what happens if we encounter Bren. But I think that's going to be next episode. Yes, I'm starting to run out of time right now. Episode for another game I did yesterday actually was very long. For both of them at the same day, so. I need 550 coal. 45. 595 charcoal is needed. Oof. No. Yes. Wild berries. Well, at least I had fun with the porcupine. Sure. I do hope you had fun when I used the porcupine. Because it's in general a nice weapon, although a lot of people don't like it. Partially because of the knockback, partially because it's doing pierce damage, which is something not that useful against seekers, if I'm not mistaken. I can check that too. That Venom wiki is so potion. It's talking about seekers. Resistant, blunt, pierce and slash. Immune spirit. So in general, blunt. That's what I have here, both blunt and pierce. So using any sort of mace is actually helping you. Then pierce is also on the porcupine, so any sort of spear, headgear, bow is not useful. Slash, that's also headgear, knives, swords, it's also what they are resistant to. And that's the seeker soldier, and the seeker brute. They're all resistance to blunt, pierce, slash, and completely immune to spirit. So the silver sword and the frostner are useless. That's basically what it's saying. However, there is of course brute force, and brute force simply means that you're doing so much damage that overall the resistance is there, but at some point you're doing so much damage that the resistance are actually ignored, and at that point you are doing damage. Also, seekers have a weak spot at the back, the abdomen. So if you're able to hit them there, it will certainly help. But in general, my black metal sword, my porcupine, my bow are useless. So what would be useful? Well, no matter how weird it sounds, but that one. Because that also does chop damage. It doesn't show, it's only showing slash, which is even below that of him. Not that much, but it is. But it also does chop damage, which is actually the kind of damage you're doing when you're cutting down a tree. So that may help. That one's doing pierce, so useless. Then, to make it even more fun, we have the Gjall, the Tick, Burger, Rogue, in Mistlands, the Burger, Mage, in Mistlands, and the Gjall is resistant to fire and immune to spirit. The Tick is immune to spirit, and the Dwerger Road and Mage are both resistant to spirit. The Mage is also resistant to fire and frost damage. That's the bad news. The good news is the Tick is actually weak to pierce. So a bow, spear, that will help. The other ones not, which means when I fight in ticks, porcupine is actually a good weapon. The rogue and the mage have another good advantage. They're neutral unless they are provoked. So that makes Mistlands a very hard place to enter. Now, what's the good news? As a mage, you're eventually able to do fire and frost damage. Not that much, but eventually at the start you will be. So once you have the ability to do that, We also have currently able to do bolts, not a spear, not chrome yet. That's why I was seeing bronze, I think. 150 slash. This one is very slow, doing a lot more damage as the black metal sword. Disadvantage, long armor will actually drop a lot. But we also have him. And starting at 200 pierce compared to the 56 we're currently doing. Combined with, let's see, 32 or 72 even. Yes. So let's say I start with this and we currently have 50 to 110 pierce. I'm starting to use Carapace Bolt. That's 18 to 40. So that makes 58 minimal and 150 pierce maximum. That's what I mean about overriding at some point. Because the Carapace arrows and the Drogofang currently, I will get a better bow by the way in this biome, but I'm currently doing 25 to 42 on the Drogofang. Combine that with the 33 to 54, that makes 58 pierce and 96 maximum. 58 minimum, 96 maximum. With this one, I'm already at 68. So that makes it quite superior. Disadvantage, it needs reload time. But I may actually craft it at some point and start to use it. I will probably make 2 stacks of bolts. Bone bolt for when I'm in biomes I've been in before, and a carapace for the very big nasty buggers, including those in Mistlands. That's all in the future. Last batch of now. That's all in the future. First things first, which means we're going to do some sailing next episode. Or maybe I have done the sailing and we're already there. We'll see. I may have to sail around that area at some point. See the tower as moving to yeah, I have to do quite some sailing actually. Romas, that's in. So we have to go through here. Then over here. Do a small gap somewhere here, turn south, turn around. That way. So one of the things I can do we'll see. It's going to be an interesting sailing trip for sure. And now I've been wasting too much time actually. Talking about future plans. But Now it's resting time. Hey, multiple base. And I hope you've been enjoying it. It wasn't as exciting as the last pieces, the last ones have been. And actually, we didn't see much of the new content, which is unfortunate. But I'm certain if we're going to find that tomb, we will. Because, yeah, that's Black Forest territory after all. So we very likely will. Still, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Have a good week, everybody. Goodbye.